Hello YouTube, this is Emma. I'm 18 years old, I live in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and this is my first vlog. I live with my mom and my sister in a beautiful house. I get to see my dad and my stepmom once every 2 weeks basically, but I get full weeks during the summer and during winter and Christmas break, so that's always fun. I'm an artistic kind of girl. I love to sing, I love to act, and you'll see plenty of me singing as this vlog continues, but today is kind of special, I guess, because today's not just my first vlog. Today I'm coming out as transgender. I was born March 5th, 1995 at 2:32 in the morning, and I was born physically male. And I'm still male, technically, but I'm a woman. I'm an 18-year-old woman. How did I get here? Well, I was born and raised in a very Roman Catholic background. I was raised, my mom is first generation Sicilian, so her parents came over here, and she was the first of 3 children. My grandparents are both from Sicily, from La Provincia di Trapani, from Palermo, actually. No, by the way, no connection with the mob. I don't know if I should or shouldn't be excited about that. But just when my dad first met my mom, he asked about if she had any connections. No. Actually, thank God if you really think about it. But neither my mom nor my grandparents were really religious per se. They did go to church, they did participate in the Eucharist often, if not all the time. My dad was raised first Lutheran, then Baptist, then Lutheran. Then he met my mom and he started practicing Catholicism, and it wasn't until about 4 years ago that he was actually confirmed in the Catholic Church, which was about a year before I was confirmed in the Catholic Church, actually. I was raised, and I was basically in Catholic school since 1st grade. So I've kind of had Jesus drilled into my brain. I remember going back to when I was like 4 years old, and I was, so, pre-K, pretty much, and I would actually wear a skirt and dress up in pre-K, or in preschool, or whatever you call it. I called it pre-K back then. And I would always play dress up with the girls. I was told I was a boy and I was supposed to do boy things, but I did what I liked to do. And it wasn't until my dad kinda blew up at those in charge, and they kinda started driving me towards boy things. So I ended up being in a sort of androgynous place. I wasn't allowed to go do any of the feminine things. I wasn't allowed to, I didn't want really to do any of the masculine things. So I just kind of kept to myself, really. And then after that, it was pretty smooth. I mean, when you're indoctrinated, that's kind of what happens. It wasn't until I started to hit puberty that I started playing dress up at home with my mother's things, and maybe I'll borrow something from my sister if I could get it to fit, because I am really overweight and she's this petite little thing. And I had been caught a few times when I was younger, and it wasn't pretty. My dad kind of blew up about it. And so I stopped and I tried to forget about it, but you just can't forget about those kinds of things, you know? But as time went on, as puberty started coming at me, was continuing to come at me, I should say, I started noticing my sexual attraction towards boys. And I know that everyone probably knows the traditional Christian stance on homosexuality. It doesn't happen. The church does accept homosexuality as legitimate, like people don't choose sexual orientation, but homosexual acts are looked down upon, to put it lightly. And so I was basically convinced I was going to hell. And this was about the time of my confirmation, so I needed to get it in gear. And, so like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I'd been struggling with this. 8th grade, I was confirmed. I didn't really know the church's official stance on it. I knew that Christianity said that it was an abomination. Most, evangelical Christian denominations saw it as an abomination of God, and I needed to make myself believe that, because I couldn't be this way. I can't be this way, because that's not how it is. And so I got confirmed, saying, you know what, I'll get the confirmation now and we'll work on my beliefs later. So I was confirmed. Never really outgrew it. The next year, freshman year of high school, I joined the football team. I have my dad's build, so it seemed kinda like the right thing to do. It would man me up. It would make me straight and make me masculine. And I'd lose weight and get girls, and at the time it seemed like that's what I needed to do to fit in. And it was hard. Very, very hard. It was not fun. I have a lot of respect for athletes. More respect for well-rounded athletes, artistic type athletes, but I have respect. It takes a lot of discipline. I was only played 6 times, and I was like beaten up at practice practically. I had bruises like all up and down my arms and legs, and halfway through the season I was actually crying. It was a hard time. It was a difficult time. Those 3.5 years are what I call the darkest periods of my life. Well, so then I started the musical at my school, and I have always loved to be on stage and always loved to be singing, and it was How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. If any of you know that play, you can comment and below. And I was part of the executive chorus. I mean, it wasn't a big part. It was my first part, though, in high school, and that was cool. And I met a gay boy, Jay Walton. And it's like, wait, he's gay? And we go to an all-boys Catholic high school? is he insane? So the more I got to talking to him, the more I got to know him, and the more he taught me to accept and love who I am. I playfully give him the title of the reason that I exist. According to a French philosopher, Descartes, I think, therefore I am. And Jay's the one who taught me to think and feel for myself instead of relying on the doctrines and like what society wanted of me. So it's because of him that I'm really me. And as time went on, I started to be a little more I was open about my homosexuality. And I was open to the gay community, and I was open to being me and accepting that in myself. And it wasn't until fairly recently that I started dressing again. And at home, I look in the mirror when my face isn't made up right now, and my nails aren't done, and I know you can't see it, but I do have a stuffed bra, and I'm wearing a skirt that I made, and I'm wearing a pair of, I don't know if they're my mom's or my sister's. I'm guessing they're my sister's, but they're a pair of wedges. And, these are actually these have always been a part of my life. This is just my class ring and a Kairos cross. So if any of you have ever been on Kairos, I'm a sister, I guess. Was a brother, now I'm a sister. If you don't know what Kairos is, try looking it up. I dare you, because most Kairos brothers and sisters don't really talk about it. It's something that needs to be experienced. So these are really more of a me thing than it is a girl thing. But anyways, when I'm made up and I have my hair in, and I'm wearing the shoes, and I'm wearing the skirt, and I'm wearing and I have I'm not wearing anything to make cleavage today, and I'm not wearing a shirt that shows it off. But, I'll wear a shirt where I've cut off the collar and it shows off cleavage, and I look in the mirror, and I'm pretty. And it feels so right. And I just wanted to feel that way all the time. All the time. And it made me look back to when I was gay and and before I came out to everyone. And I was on the brink of accepting myself and getting others to accept me. And that's how I know that I'm transgender. That's how I know for absolute certain. But this is a really, really bad time for this, honestly, because now I have graduation to deal with. I'm still making up homework from last month, and I'm graduating in 2 weeks. This Thursday is literally my last day of classes. Technically, it's tomorrow, because Thursday I don't have anything after homeroom. I have 8 periods at school, and homeroom is in between 3 and 4. Each one is like 45 minutes long with 4 minutes in between. I really only have 3 classes that day. And exams are next week, and then after that there's graduation, and after that I have my open house with my mom and my grad party with my dad, and things are just so crazy right now. I really don't want to come out to them right now, but I needed to come out to someone. So I told one of my closest friends since sophomore year, Tyler Moylan. He's an oddball at our school, but he's been my best friend. I don't love him sexually or romantically, but he is an awesome person. I love him. I love who he is. And he's able to be himself in public. And even though he's not transgender, even though he's not gay, I think he might be asexual or demisexual, or I know he's hetero-romantic, which is a completely other issue entirely. But he's him, and he accepts himself, and he accepts others. And he's ridiculed for it, and he's like one of my biggest heroes. I mean, he's pretty much up there with Dorothy Day and Mahatma Gandhi. He's seriously an awesome, awesome person. And so I told him. And I told 2 of my cousins. And I've told my school counselor. And I've told this boy that I have a really, really effed up relationship with. Because he's not gay and he's not into trans, I guess. I mean, I came out to him after he started treating me like his worst enemy. But it's a really complicated relationship, and if you want to know more, you can say so in the comments. But I'd rather not tell you. It's not that big a deal to me, and it's really something that's part of the past. I want to move on. I'm not going to forget it. It's still a big deal to me, but I kind of want to move on. So I've told certain people. I'm not telling my parents, because this is just the worst timing for it ever. Ever. Like I said, this is the last week of classes. Next week are my final exams. After that, I have graduation, grad party, so on and so forth. I'm still looking for a job. I'm worrying about community college next year. This is the worst time to discover yourself. Which is either why you should be doing it freshman, sophomore, junior year, the year, and when you're in college. But no, I have to come out now. I have to accept myself now. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm trying to get in touch with my psychiatrist that I had before I came out. But I may not be able to get to his... And he's dealt with gender dysphoria, so... I mean, and I know him, so I'm not, you know? But it doesn't really look like it's gonna happen. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Because I need someone I can talk to. That's like a professional, please. I don't really know anything about hormones yet. I myself as a person have like $150 to my name. I can't really say anything about surgery. I can't really say anything about... I can't even say anything about therapy right now. Which is sad, to say the least. But like... I just wanted to come out. This is me. And I've clearly wasted, and I may or may not have wasted about 20 minutes of your time. But this is the first transition, and I promise I will come on in boy mode. Maybe next vlog, maybe the vlog after. We'll see. It will definitely be a lot easier. I mean, I kind of want to be on this vlog just as Emma. I have makeup, and I'm going to be made up, and I'll have nail polish, and I'll show you what I wear, which isn't necessarily a legit outfit because I have to put this together from what I have, which is really a bunch of boy clothes and fabric, which is a good thing I can sew. I taught myself how to sew, which is another girly thing that I do. But I'll come on in boy mode, I'll come on made up, I'll come on and sing, you know? I mean, I do sign a little, but I'm not exactly the best. I know some songs from Les Mis in sign language, which is awesome, and I'm going to be sharing all of that with you. You're going to hear my voice a lot deeper because that's the voice that I have. I have a bass voice, and I'm talking at like the top of my register right now, which is sad. Which is sad. Which sucks that I couldn't have realized this when I was like 4 or 5 and told my parents that I wanted to be a girl. That would have helped, really. But no, I have to come out now, in high school, right? But I'll be coming back on, and I'll be doing all those things, and cheerio.